Okay, here we go again. This is, I believe, number 11 of these videos. Beard Resonator Guitar Kit Construction. I'm Gary Clardy with Clardy Guitars. The next step that I want to do is to put the pearl position markers in on the fretboard, and that way the fret won't be in the way for leveling. So what I did is I laid these out according to the plan, and these four down here have little screws that go in under the pearl, mother of pearl. So I drilled those all the way out, and these are 1/4 inch or 5 millimeter. So I used a 1/4 inch bit, which fit very well. So at this point, I'm just going to use super glue to glue those in, and normally I would have some accelerator so I could just hit it and it'd be done, but I'm out. So we won't be using that. I'll just have to lay it aside and let it dry. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put a little glue in there. Fill that up really well. This is just a crazy glue, and it is I don't want to push that below the surface, but I want to get it down fairly even. If I leave it up a little bit, it'll sand off very nicely. And hopefully this will set up pretty quickly. It looks good. There you have those. Are all glued in the correct position. And these will go in after the neck is screwed down. So okay, the next thing we're going to do is start cutting frets. So I'm going to pull a chair up here and get focused in with my cameras, and I'll show you how I do the fretting, and use a tang nipper to cut the ends of the tang so that they'll go out over that binding. Do some fret work here for our Resonator guitar that we're building from this kit, furnished to us by Resophonic Outfitters. And this is the two sticks that came with them. So what I normally do, I always give it just a little bit, but I measure right at the fret where it is. And then I have this little tang nipper that I can, if you can see that, how it came off so very easily. so that the end of that will be not showing, the binding will cover up the end of those. So, and I have a little tray here. I'll put those in so I can keep up with where I am. Always have to watch that. So some of you folks that are building these kits, I would love to hear from you on my YouTube page. Let's go in and give me a shout sometime. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I'd like to learn as much as I possibly can from this. If there's ways to do things easier, I'd like to hear them. Got a little much left on there. And 19. Okay, we've got all these cut. I'm still waiting for this glue to set up. It's a shame I don't have some accelerator to get on that with. But I haven't been down to the hardware store where I need to go. Okay. Okay guys, we will, the next thing we'll be doing will be now, this is set up. The pearl inlay, and I hit it with some pretty coarse sandpaper and then a little bit less coarse sandpaper and leveled all of that down. Now I have the frets ready to go in, and I have a fret press over here, but for the benefit of those that do not have a fret press, I'm going to show you how I approach putting frets in. And also, just bear with me on the air conditioner. It's getting hot in here, plus the humidity was building up a little bit, so I like to keep my shop around 50 to 55, and it was rising, so I got it back on. Now what I do on putting these frets in is I have some tight bond liquid hide wood glue, and I always just kind of put a little bit down there. That's more than a little bit, before I hammer this in. And it keeps them from popping, keeps them from keeps the fret, once it sits up, from popping out. And that's a pretty big problem on a regular acoustic guitar because it gets up in your way and the frets buzzing, strings buzzing against it. These nippers cut off right even with the edge too. I love them. I'm going to try to just put just a little bit less on this one. You don't have to line up in the slot. Think about the hide glue. Is that if you do have to take this out, you can heat it up and the glue will dissolve. I've heard of epoxying in. Some people say that's fine. Some people, of course, say that you pretty much destroy the fretboard when you pull it back out. You have to work on one fret, you're pretty much in trouble. Oh, fretting hammer is from Stu Mack. Worked fantastic. If you've never been to Stuart McDonald's website, you should go in there and just look at the neat stuff they have. It's expensive stuff, but you only have to buy it one time when you're buying from them because it's going to hold up. Good, we're getting there. Okay, the next one, only like 3 more. Get those lined up, they go in so nicely. The slots are cut right for the size of the fret wire. It's working really good. Okay, looks like the last one, the one we were looking for. Okay, now those are complete. They look good. Look really good. Now I've got a little homemade block with a file, a groove cut in it, and a piece of file put in there that I normally run these edges with to clean them up and get them even. Flip it around, clean that edge up. Then, a couple of pieces of equipment here that has the thing, got the file in it at about a 30-degree bevel. And what that does is that bevel goes into those threads. Go back to this now and make sure there's nothing hanging out. Pretty clean. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Got a few howling. Oh yeah. I did it. Okay, and there's a couple more things. I don't happen to have the tools here with me, but I have a thing to kind of crown those on the end, and a little bitty file to clean those up a little more so that, okay. You noticed I put the studs in those ends. And the way I did that is I laid it against the guitar, got it right where it belonged, and then reached through with a pencil and marked the centers of those holes. Went over to the drill press, extended it down and stood this up and drilled in. And then I came back with a pair of channel locks and ran those in. Gripping them down here so that I would not ruin these threads up here. So we're making progress. We're getting there. Looks like that's going to be the neck. And I will glue that on tomorrow. And clean the neck up. I might even go ahead and glue that on, but let's I think we're getting in pretty good shape with that. Really gonna look good. Thank you so much for watching this segment of installing frets, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. This is Gary Clardy, Clardy Guitars. Thank you.